Rarest Abraham Lincoln photos with shocking stories behind. Did you know that Lincoln was the first ever president of America who actually wore a beard? However, at the end of this video, you will see an alleged photo of him and discover more of the shocking whereabouts behind it. But first, let us show you these rare photos. It was believed to be the best ever photo of Lincoln. This was taken 8 days before his Gettysburg Address, where he said that all men were created equal. Experts believe that these rare photos preserve the charisma and deep expressive gaze of the great emancipator, one of the greatest leaders of America. But before his iconic beard and his campaign for the national stage, Lincoln was already a self-taught lawyer who had the nickname Honest Abe. This was believed to be the first photo of him taken after he first won a seat in the U.S. Congress, representing the District of Illinois. However, despite being known for being relentless with his cause, Lincoln vowed to have the position for just one term. Indeed, Lincoln was the #1 enemy of slavery and even took the chance to choose it as the topic of the debate for the senatorial race. During that time, he made another legendary speech where he said that a house divided against itself cannot stand. After the debate, this photo captured how the unusually tall 6'4" Lincoln was heavily supported by the locals outside his home in Springfield, Illinois. Lincoln's fame was further established after his heated debate with Stephen Douglas, where they discussed critical issues faced by the nation during that time. Here's a photo of him without his iconic beard in that debate, although Douglas was the one elected as senator. On the other hand, Lincoln's reputation reached the nationwide spotlight, and which later on would lead him to his prestigious career as one of America's greatest presidents. Although Lincoln was eager to further his political career, he was indeed a family man who never forgot to cherish his time with his beloved wife, Mary Todd, and 4 sons. Many of his lifelong friends cited that Lincoln was a father who never bothered working while tending and playing with his sons. Also, here's a fun fact. Did you know that his political rival Douglas once courted Mary Todd, but Lincoln won her heart? At that time, Lincoln became increasingly popular while having his nationwide political presence becoming more evident. However, life was not so kind to him and took his second son Eddie out of their embrace. Both Mary and Lincoln were devastated, for the young boy had died at only the age of 3. Before continuing, we would really appreciate a like to this video. If you also want to see similar content in the future, consider subscribing and activating the notification bell. With that, even as a father of the nation, Lincoln never forgot his responsibility to his youngest son Tad. He was busy with the ongoing Civil War, but he would always make time for Tad. His youngest son brought them salvation during their trying times when his other son, Willie, died. Abraham rejoiced in his youngest son, whom he observed as regularly as a tadpole. So, Abraham has called him Tad ever since. Lincoln was a doting and caring father. His secretaries from that time could never forget the kid who was the White House tyrant, as he would occasionally interrupt important meetings. You would be surprised what Lincoln did, since he never scolded Tad for doing so and instead hugged his son and brought him to his arms. Mentioning his secretaries, here's a photo of Lincoln with Nikolai and Hay. You would be surprised how close they were with him, since they were the people where almost everything we knew about Lincoln came from, and even published a 10-volume bibliography about him. Then, in this photo that Lincoln actually believed that made him the President of America. Well, of course, it was used in election, and it helped him to secure the position. Thanks to Brady, who captured this image before Lincoln delivered his game-changing Copper Union Address in New York that made Lincoln secure the presidential position 3 months later. During his term, Lincoln was hands-on in assuring that the Union would get the upper hand in Civil War. So he often visits the military camps in person to address important issues on hand and make sure that their plans would not go astray. Like in this image, Lincoln visited the camp in Antietam, Maryland right after the battle. Next, Lincoln was with George McClellan at the Union's camp. In the first year of the Battle of Potomac, McClellan showed exceptional results in leading the Union forces, so he was promoted by Lincoln as General-in-Chief. However, the failure with his recent battle resulted in dissatisfaction, so Lincoln replaced him with another general. Then Lincoln with his trusted aide Allen Pinkerton with John McClernand. It was believed that this person was behind the Union's intelligence and provided sensitive war information relayed by their spies throughout the Confederate side. He had also prevented Lincoln's assassination plot in Baltimore, as he had discovered it early. Just 5 years after his Copper Union speech, the president obviously looked more run down, since in those years, the US lost more than 500,000 soldiers in Civil War, which made Lincoln suffer from sleepless nights, and was so overworked that he even skipped meals. Many believe that these may have caused the president to look 20 years older in this photo. In the last picture of Lincoln alive. However, did you know that Lincoln actually grew his beard because an 11-year-old girl suggested it? Well, this photo was taken 4 days just before he was assassinated. It was believed that this was the best photo that had shown the president's expression of latent sadness, for he had experienced a rough life and lost his sons early. Despite that, it didn't stop him from enduring his hardships and led to the unification of the states after winning the Civil War. And then Lincoln's most controversial alleged deathbed picture. The entire nation was emotionally shaken and deeply shocked when the news of Lincoln's death was heard. However, an alleged photo of him was taken in secret and was given to his descendants in Illinois. In comparison with his last photo alive, experts said that his facial feature, like the slight scar on the lips, matched, and the injury sustained from the assassination was accurate. The image conjured emotions of fright and sadness. When the sad news reached his son Tad, he said, "Pa is dead. I can barely accept that I would never see him again." You discovered the amazing story about Abraham Lincoln. Also, did you know that under his term, the first transcontinental railroad was made? Click this and discover more about it.